what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Daily Dose. I know it's been a long time. Some of you guys are asking, Juice, when's the next Daily Dose? Well, it's right here, and some of you might be thinking, what the hell? Where's the Walking Dead video? Well, I've decided that I think I'm going to start doing a Daily Dose on Mondays instead of the Walking Dead videos. And the reason for that is the Walking Dead videos have not been getting the views that I would like them to get. They're very low compared to the rest of my videos. And I know some of you might be thinking, Juice, it shouldn't be about the views, and it shouldn't. In a perfect world, it wouldn't be about the views, but it is very hard to justify using my time to make a video that nobody's going to watch. So that kind of sucks. I mean, that kind of happens with the unboxing videos, but those are really fun for me to make. So I like making the unboxing videos. I don't mind if those don't get a ton of views. But the Walking Dead videos, I feel like, you know, with the channel being about comics and nerdy stuff, that they would do better, and they're not. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold off on those for a while. Plus, we would only have 4 more because there's only 4 more episodes until they go on break. The Daily Dose can keep going every Monday. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna totally not talk about The Walking Dead. So on Mondays, I'm not gonna do full-blown just Walking Dead video reviews. I'm going to include some of the best moments from the episode in this Daily Dose. So if you like The Walking Dead, you'll still be able to watch the Daily Dose, get your little Walking Dead goodness, and then go ahead and hear about everything else that happened on the weekend that was pretty badass. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. With that, let's go ahead and talk about The Walking Dead. And this was the 90-minute episode, and I don't know, I said this in the last review, that these episodes have been dragging. This episode was really long, and it was dragging, but it was just good to see that we were back in Alexandria and to see other people there. So that was really cool. But the biggest thing about this episode was Negan showed up in Alexandria, and he was taking all the shit that he wanted to take. And other people were meeting Negan for the first time, so they were seeing Rick not be Rick anymore, and it was pretty interesting. Some of the biggest things that happened in this episode were, we got the mini freaking sadness of what's-her-name wanting to hold on to the green balloons and those guys being dicks to her. Man, it must be so hard for this crew not to just want to kill all of Negan's people again. And they can't, because there's so many of them. But yeah, so we had the green balloons that were referenced to Glenn when he saw, like, you know, when the freaking green balloons were like hope or whatever. We finally had Rick admit that Judith isn't his and that it was Shane's. That whole little freaking reference has been going on since season 1. Like, we knew that freaking Shane was banging out Lori and that the time frames just didn't match. We knew that Judith was freaking Shane's, but Rick had never talked about it. But he had finally revealed on this episode that Judith is not his, but he loves her and that he wants to show her how to survive in this world. So he gets past that, and he wants everybody else to get past it too, to learn how to live in Negan's world. Speaking of Negan, am I the only one that's kind of getting tired of the just, no Rick, blah, 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 Rick? Like, I want to see Negan in and it's probably going to be a while until we see him in this situation. I want to see him in a situation where he's actually got to fight for his life, or he's got to beat the shit out of somebody, and not just with Lucille. I'm talking about somebody tries to attack him. I want to see badass Negan fight somebody. Like, that's what I want to see. Or him trapped with a bunch of walkers. I want to see that side of Negan, because, like, it's cool to be the intimidating guy, but after a while, it sucks, you know what I mean? It's like if Conor McGregor, you know, the fucking UFC fighter that has 2 titles in his episode, his freaking fight was badass this weekend. If you guys didn't see UFC, he's fucking badass. That UFC pay-per-view was badass. I watch UFC if you guys didn't know that. Anyways, it's like hearing Conor McGregor freaking run his mouth all the time, but he never fought. I feel like that's where Negan's getting to right now. He's just talking. I want to see him do something really badass. I mean, we saw him on the first episode beat the hell out of everybody, but now it's just kind of like, I don't care, I just want to see you do something cool. So yeah, I don't know if you guys feel about that. I feel that way. I just want to see some more cool Negan shit, not just this whole like, hey, Daryl and Rick and I'm the man and blah, 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 suck my dick. I'm tired of that shit already. Other things that happened, our group made Negan think that Maggie is dead. Quick thinking on Father Gabriel's part. I'm really getting confused if Negan respects women or not, because I believe in the comics, and I'm not there yet, so feel free to correct me in the comments. He doesn't kill women in the comics, and like he doesn't approve of rape or anything like that. I could be wrong. Let me know. I haven't read that far into the comic yet. But here, he was gonna take Maggie back with him, which I was like, wait, but was it gonna be her choice? Was he gonna ask her? And he might have said he was gonna ask her to come back with me. So maybe he does, you know, agree, or like, you know, as long as there's consent there, he's all about it. Because in the last episode, he was said that Dwight could be with any girl he wanted as long as she said yes. So I'm getting really confused if he is doing the whole respecting women thing or not. But then again, he was gonna kill what's-her-name, who didn't keep track of the freaking guns. So I'm just like, what are you doing, Negan? What are they trying to do with you? Other things, we saw Ballsy Carl, freaking, he was there when Negan freaking killed Glenn and Abraham, yet motherfucker still thinks it's still a good idea to freaking shoot people and whatnot. Like, Carl, chill out, bro. He will scoop out your other eye and you're gonna be walking around like this, bitch. We saw Michonne trying to be a sniper and she is terrible. She is up close and personal kind of killer. Her sniping skills are god awful, but she's still training because she knows that the group is fighters and that they're gonna fight eventually, and she wanted to be better. She wanted to be able to snipe people. She was practicing, but she doesn't have that gun anymore because Negan took everything. Last two things I want to talk about. One, Rosita. Man, she's starting to be one of my favorite characters. I'm not gonna lie to this about you guys. I love me fiery Latinas. Like, I don't know why. I love me a strong Latina woman. It's probably because I grew up around a bunch of Latino people. I fucking love me Latinas. And she's starting to get really fiery when she was killing all those things. And she was, I loved it. I fucking loved it. And she's starting to be a badass. And we're seeing her plan where she went to Eugene and she was like, make me a bullet. So, she is going to start being a badass on the show, and I can't wait because I love me freaking some Rosita. And lastly, I am waiting for Rick to snap. I want to see if he's going to snap and just be like, fuck this, we're going to kill everybody, motherfuckers, because that's where it looks like it's going to happen. We saw it like multiple times. He looked like he just wanted to kill Negan, but of course that would have got everybody in his crew killed, so he had to self-control. I think eventually he's either going to snap or he's gonna become more like Negan, because we kind of had a little glimpse of that at the end when, what is his name? I'm forgetting his name. The son to the lady that used to run Alexandria, when he found all the guns and food and liquor in that dude's house, and he was just like, don't do that shit again, blah, blah, and he was walking away, and then that guy said, oh, if we would have made a deal, freaking Glenn and Abraham wouldn't have died. And he was all like, say something like that again, and I'll break your fucking jaw. Like, oh, shit. Fucking Rick don't give a fuck about that dude, and that is the kind of Rick I want to see. I want to see that fire. Fire! Anyways, that's it for The Walking Dead, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about some other shit. And holy crap, did trailers drop this weekend, and oh man, 2017 looks so good for movies, and I cannot wait. First up, we have the new Cara Delevingne movie, Valerian, which looks so good. It is directed by the guy that made Fifth Element, and if you guys, Fifth Element is an old school movie, but that movie looked amazing when it came out. Valerian's by the same director, and this looks great. Like, I cannot wait to see this movie. I love me some Cara Delevingne, or is it Delevingne, whatever, how you ever say your last name. I fucking love her. Love me them eyebrows. I think she's just an awesome personality, and she's great, and she stands up for a lot of amazing things. And I just think she's awesome, and I can't wait to see this movie because it looks, like, style-wise and visual effects look amazing, and I can't wait to see this. It's also a graphic novel, and it is said to be where Star Wars got a lot of its ideas from, because Star Wars came out in the 70s, this comic was in the 60s, so that's pretty interesting, and there's a lot of parallels between them apparently. So I want to check that out because, you know, everybody's all like, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, but if Star Wars got their ideas from this freaking comic, I'm interested in watching it. On to another movie that looks amazing, and I cannot wait for this because I am all about style in movies, and if you can make a movie look artsy but fucking badass at the same time, I love those type of movies. And Ghost in a Shell, oh my gosh. I know there was a lot of controversy over Scarlett Johansson being the main lead in this, and it was whitewashing and all of that jazz. Totally get it, it's understandable, but I don't care in this instant. Wait, I'm not gonna say I don't care, because that would be very hypocritical. Not saying that I haven't been hypocritical on this channel before, but I will say this particular one, because on this channel we talk a lot about like freaking changing out characters and making changes. This is one instance. I understand why the companies did what they did in making Scarlett Johansson the lead in this movie. This is where I'm going to be honest. This is going to be 100% honest with this. if we could have had an Asian actor for this, because if you guys have read the manga, if you've read or you've seen the animes, you know that the character is Asian. It's based in Tokyo, so everybody's Asian. But they went ahead and put Scarlett Johansson. This has been the biggest controversy over this movie, and it's like that they're whitewashing the character. And I believe they kept the same name and everything. I believe. A lot of people's defense is like, she's a cyborg or she's an android. It doesn't matter. You know, androids don't have sex or whatever. But from the storyline, how the trailer portrays it is she was a human first, and she was dying, and then they turned her into an android. So she was technically somebody before, meaning she would have been Asian or you know, Japanese or whatever prior to becoming an android. So yes, they are technically whitewashing this. But I will say, I feel like this movie, the way it looks, wouldn't have got the same budget had they not got a big star like Scarlett Johansson. But again, this is the problem, and this is part of the problem where I think if you don't give Asian actors or Japanese actors, or, you know, Hispanic, Latino actors, anybody, that spotlight, they're never going to be as big as Scarlett Johansson or anybody else, because you're not giving them a chance. They need chances in other movies. So this is like part of the problem. So to have movies like this, but to have them authentic the way you would want, you know, the manga to be, you want an Asian actor. You need to get these big names, but we're never going to get these big names from other races like Latinos or Asians or, you know, everything, if they don't ever get chances in other movies. So this is a really weird situation, because we need to start being more like inclusive with these kind of movies so we can make them more authentic. But right now, Ghost in the Shell would have never looked this amazing, would have never been made this great without getting a star like Scarlett Johansson, because, you know, it's like, Scarlett Johansson's gonna be in this movie, so other people are like, here's my money, I will freaking be an executive producer or whatever, because they know people are gonna go watch Scarlett Johansson movies. With that said, I think this movie looks fucking great, and I cannot wait to go watch it. I haven't really seen the anime. I think I saw one movie from the anime, and that's it, so I don't know too much about it, but this looks so good, and it looks so artsy, and the way the world just looks so great. And this comes out in March, and I cannot wait to see. This is coming out very soon, because we're already in November. I am gonna be there opening night to watch this movie. Let me know if that whole Ghost in the Shell controversy thing made sense to you guys, because I feel like if I didn't talk clear enough about it, let me know and I will cover it or do another video on it, because it's like weird, because I don't want to get it misconstrued that I don't care about, like, because I talk about it all the time on this channel about inclusion with these things, but then I'm like, oh my god, this movie with Scarlett Johansson looks amazing. Like, I'm trying to separate them. Like, I would have preferred an Asian actor to be in there, but I'm not gonna lie and say that this movie doesn't look amazing with Scarlett Johansson in it. But at the same time, we're never gonna have somebody of the stardom of Scarlett Johansson in this movie if we don't give them chances in other movies to be stars. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. So we gotta start making other people to be stars, Asians, Latinos, blacks, everybody, freaking to be stars in other movies, so they can be the stars in comic books or whatever that they should be, instead of, you know, putting in another big star that is white or whatever. So I hope that makes sense. If not, I will try to clear it up in the comments if you guys have questions or you're confused by that. As I started filming this video, they dropped the trailer for Beauty and the Beast, and dude, Disney, stop making millions of amazing movies. You guys knock it out of the park all the time, and this one looks great. And it's got Emma freaking Watson. Beautiful. She's so gorgeous, and she's smart and intelligent. She's like the whole package. She is gorgeous, and she's Belle. Oh my gosh. I grew up on Beauty and the Beast, guys. I grew up on all the Disney movies, Snow White, all of them, Cinderella. Grew up on all the Disney movies because they were just great movies to watch when I was a kid. So to see that this trailer is very similar to the movie, I'm just like blown away, and I will totally be there again in March to watch this. March is gonna have all of the freaking movies. Ghost in the Shell, Beauty and the Beast, Logan. Those are 3 movies that are coming out in March. I'm gonna be at the theater a lot. Quick video game news. There was a itty bitty clip of this Spider-Man footage in a new PlayStation commercial. This isn't actually game footage, but it was cool to see this little Spider-Man moment kill all or knock out all these guys and save this character from this commercial. Just reminding us that that game is going to be coming out eventually and it's going to be badass. Last thing I want to talk about, guys, is it has nothing to do with this weekend, but it has something that I've been into a lot lately and I thought I would just share it with you. Been watching a shitload of documentaries lately. There have been ladies in these documentaries, but I have been watching a lot of documentaries. I'm not sure if you guys care about them or not. I like watching them because I've made a few in my lifetime. They're little things. I've made some with friends and all this other stuff, and my friend is making some. Like, it's just, they're really awesome ways to look at a different, you know, life or perspective of life. And 3 of them that I want to talk about that are really good, I'm not going to really talk about them, but I'm going to say you should check them out, is Before the Flood. I already did a video on that. You guys totally saw me talk about how I felt it changed things. If you want to watch a good documentary about climate change, it's produced by Leonardo DiCaprio. Freaking check out Before the Flood. I don't know if it's free anymore, because, I mean, I feel like I can still watch it wherever I want, but I don't know, it might not be free anymore, but it should have been on like YouTube and a bunch of other places, like from it's from Nat Geo, so just go check out their website and it might still be free. I don't think it is anymore, but if you can watch it, watch it. Another one that is also produced by Leonardo DiCaprio is called The Ivory Game. That one is really sad and kind of, it's not sad, but it is eye-opening. It's about the illegal ivory trade in China. Now, China, it's legal to own ivory there. In a lot of other countries, it's illegal to own ivory because, you know, it's coming from elephants and rhinos and all this other shit. Anyways, well, in China, since it's legal, they're running out of like stock for ivory, so they're getting it illegally by having poachers and stuff kill elephants and bring the ivory to China. It is insane, guys. Like, there are many towns that hoard ivory and have all these mini ivory shops, and like, you gotta like know somebody to get into these. It's just like the drug trade. Like, it's so crazy. Watch The Ivory Game. You'll feel super sad because like, they're literally killing elephants. Elephants are starting to go extinct because of this fucking poaching of ivory. It's insane. Watch it if you get the chance. That's also on Netflix, and you should be able to just watch it. And the last thing I want to talk about is a friend of mine told me that I should watch this one documentary because we've been just talking about a bunch of things. And it's called Living on a Dollar. And holy shit, I saw this one last night, and it's about these 4 guys that go from America, living on America's salaries or doing whatever they do, or like, you know, wages, to going to, I think it's, was it Guatemala? I think it was Guatemala. And they live on $1 a day, because that's basically how families in Guatemala live, is on $1 a day, guys. Imagine living on $1 a day. I'm talking about, you don't have your parents, you don't have anything. It's all you, and you get $1 a day. It's crazy. And some of these guys are like, oh, you know, it doesn't seem too bad for some. One dude gets really sick, and he's just like, they gotta go to the hospital. Hey, just watch it. Like, it's crazy. It's only like an hour, so it doesn't take that long to watch this documentary. It's very, like, how do I say, eye-opening. Like, it just makes you think about how you take things for granted so much. All of these documentaries really made me think that way, and that's kind of what I've been in, and it's made me want to help more. It's made me want to do that, because in the end, I think that's all you can really do. Like, a lot of people are like, man, I want to get famous to freaking, you know, have all this money and have 1,000,000 cars. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to help people in the end, and if I can get to a successful level to where my voice actually matters, I plan on helping people, and watching documentaries like this and stuff like that really open my eyes and keep me humble to keep going towards my goal, is to build up an audience, to build up fame or whatever, to eventually get to a point where I could be like a Leonardo DiCaprio of the world and help people by speaking out on topics that a lot of people don't give a fuck about and that governments just push to the side because they don't want you to know about. So, I don't know, check out these documentaries if you're ever interested in that kind of stuff, if you're a filmmaker or just somebody that cares about things going on in the world. These are very good, they're very cinematic and stuff like that too. They're beautiful things to watch. Check them out. Anyways, that's it for the Daily Dose, guys. Let me know what you thought about all this craziness in the comment section down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share with all your buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!